The Gulf is going green, but are companies actually delivering or just talking? Joining me on Zoom is Gihan Hyde, ESG and corporate governance strategist and MFTA member. Gihan, welcome to Wall Street to MENA.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, Gihan, environmental, social, and governance standards, or ESG, corporate commitments are everywhere right now. How do you tell the real ones from the empty promises?
Well, first of all, you need to understand who, and you need to look into who is owning ESG in the organization. And after you understand who is owning it, you need to also understand what is being measured. And most importantly, where is the cost being spent? So if it is owned by the board members, then rest assured it is being taken seriously. And if it's clear in the way it's measured when you're reporting on ESG, and it's clear how it's being measured and what are the challenges that they're facing to measure the impact, then that is an indication that it is taken seriously and it will have a bigger impact on society, on the environment, but most importantly, on how the company is being governed for the long run.
You have advised BP, HSBC, and Barclays. What do global companies get wrong when they try to apply ESG standards in this region specifically?
To be honest, Raghda, it's not just about the region. Okay, everyone is finding it very difficult to apply ESG in the right way. Not because they don't want to do so, it's because they're doing it for the wrong reasons. So the organizations mainly apply or report on ESG for three different reasons. Either they're being governed and their regulators are asking them to do so, or they are seeking investments and the investors are pressurizing them, or the shareholders are asking for answers. And the major issues that every company, not just in this region, is doing is that it's treating ESG as a compliance and a mandatory, activity, rather than looking at it as an opportunity to transform the company and to ensure that the company survives the generation coming. And I think this is why a lot of the organizations are finding it very, very difficult. The other problem as well that is facing us here in the region is that we're bringing external, regulations, and we're expecting these regulations to be applied immediately in our region. Our region is not ready yet for the external regulations. We need to understand that. We need to understand, okay, we accept that we need to be regulated and we need to adhere to the global regulations. But we also need to understand that not every data point within the frameworks of ESG reporting would be applicable in our community. So for example, calculating carbon or calculating water usage, or even calculating recycling. We're not there yet. We are getting there and we can absolutely see it, but we're not there yet. And we need to understand and we need to acknowledge that.
So do you think, Gihan, we need different new regulations when it comes to ESG, when it comes to this region?
We don't need the new regulations. We just need to have the regulations that suit our current infrastructure and matches our future vision. That's what we need. And this is, I think, what we're doing really well in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, at this moment of time, ESG is not viewed as a tool just to attract investors to come to Saudi. But what I absolutely admire about the Saudi government is that they are treating ESG as part of their transformation agenda. So they're embedding it within their infrastructure. They're embedding it within the regulations. So we've seen that Tadawul, which is the stock exchange, and the capital market authorities, they are issuing regulations that suits them, that suits the country. And I'm really admiring that approach, as opposed to we just have to go with the flow. And because Europe is doing this, we have to imitate it. It doesn't work this way here.
Yes, it's not like the whole region is adapting this method when it comes to ESG. Now, there's another concept as well. We heard a lot this term, greenwashing, which is a real concern now globally, of course. How do you spot it when it comes to the Gulf context?
Well, again, I don't think we should limit our answer to just the Gulf, purely because greenwashing is greenwashing. Whether you're in Europe, whether in your Asia, or
Yeah, it's all over the world.
It's all over the world. Okay. But how do you spot it? First of all, if it is not owned by the board, if it's not integrated within the business model and the employee life cycle, and if it has not been reported accurately. So for example, if you read the ESG report, it's full of data. And it's not for everyone, by the way. The ESG report is extremely dry to read. But what's interesting is that if you analyze the data in a way that shows you, okay, the journey of the company is going to be from A to B, and these are the obstacles we're going to be facing, and these are the steps we will be taking to overcome these obstacles, and we acknowledge that these obstacles are in place, and this is what we're trying to do. This is called transparency. This is how you understand this company is not greenwashing, okay? But if you find a glossy report that is full of promises, but not including the plan and the steps taking, then you need to start worrying. If you see a company that's not embedding ESG within the salaries and the remuneration packages of the leadership team, then you need to worry. And these are the signs. Embedding within the business model, if it's not, it's greenwashing. Embedding within the employee life cycle, it's greenwashing. Getting glossy reports, but not concrete action plans and strategy, you need to start worrying.
That's very important, Gihan. Gihan, you also advised Saudi Arabia's Saafah Foundation. How is Saudi approach to ESG comparing to the UAE?
Yeah, it's very different. It's extremely different. The model in the UAE is focused on investor attraction, and attracting international capital, in my opinion. The Saudi model is purely around transforming the country. Okay. By the way, they're both valid approaches, huh? They're just different in the way they approach.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is where Saudi Arabia's transformation-led approach, you'll find it in a way of they're integrating it within their green bonding, the green loans, they're integrating it within their infrastructure. So they're really focusing on green economy and green projects. They're integrating it within the regulation itself. So they're weaving it as part of a greater transformation approach. And that's the difference.
Okay, now international investors are increasingly demanding ESG credentials before they deploy capital here. Now, is the region ready for that?
The short answer, it is. But the region also owes it to the investors to educate the investors that what the investors are used to seeing when it comes to ESG reporting in Europe, in the US, or in Asia, is very different than how we report on it here. It's not because we don't want to be aligned with the international standards. It's just we're still in our infancy in that journey. And I think the onus is now on us here to educate these investors and explain to them, we understand that the bottom line for you is what's our go-to-market. So let's assume I'm a company and I'm seeking investments. My investor cares about how am I growing? where am I growing, and what's my exit plan, if there is one. And most importantly, what is my impact? So for me to explain that to them, I have to educate them. I have to explain to them that we are in the right track of ESG reporting, but you also need to be mindful that we're still in our infancy in the region.
Thank you so much, Gihan Hyde, for joining us today in Wall Street to MENA. Thank you.
Thank you.